taking some measurements on these to get some Dorade guards built to keep the cowl vents from getting picked off by the jib sheets. Actually, I think it's the staysail sheet that's going to cause damage. I didn't bring them down from the shed, but I still have them from when we took them off.
Have what?
The old cowl guards. They were some flimsy little, made out of like 1/4-inch steel bar, and they were, I mean, just weak and ugly, and there's just a couple of tapping screws going straight through the deck. They weren't through bolted or anything like that. It would be nice to have places to secure halyards and whatnot. And I guess the biggest thing is just to protect the cowl vents. I'm going to email them a couple of sketches and some dimensions and see if that's enough information to get them started. The pulpits are easy, the cowl guards are a little bit of a trick.
So what do you got set up here?
I'm just measuring across the top of the cowl guards to get a center line height. I want to add 1.5 inches all the way around each cowl, so that there'll be 1.5 inches of space all the way around. The cowl guards are 1 inch diameter stainless tubing. I believe they build the pulpits out of 1.25 inches. Yeah, so basically I've just got to come up with the third leg that comes out the middle here and then down to deck level.
Is it going to be bent?
Yeah.
I mean straight and then it goes down?
Well, I was thinking kind of something like this. Yeah, exactly. Straight, down, 90. So I'll give them some baseline dimensions like the center line, the deck camber, and based on that they should be able to calculate how long the high side leg is and how long the downside leg is, or the long side leg, which is outboard. I'm taking down the headliner so I can drill the holes in the boat for the, what did we put? The Dorade guards.
Do you want to move that stuff off the shelf?
Yeah, eventually. So these ceiling pieces, they're just the trim pieces that go over here, overhead. When we first took down the leaky headliner and replaced it with this Formica, we couldn't figure out how to get these things down and started hacking on them and pretty much destroyed the teak strips that go over top of these to hide all the screws. So I still have to fabricate all the trim to cover up all these, but since we're adding mast pulpits and deck hardware and Dorade guards and things like that, that's why I haven't completed the wood strips for these. No, some boats just have the flat. Some of the Teanas, even the same year, have the just a flat strip, a thin strip of teak that divides up all the ceiling panels. I think this was like an extra option you could get with this these laminated extra thick ribs for the ceiling. Jeez.
One down.
Let me see.
Oh yeah, we
I
had
don't
some
remember.
there.
So I think the Dorade box is actually back here.
So it's dry up there?
Yeah. Pretty dry. It's totally dry. I mean, there's nothing here. So these are the new guards. The old ones were made out of like 3/16 inch rod and basically just screwed through the top deck with no backing plates. They're not secured through, they weren't through bolted, and came down here. And basically was just when the staysail tacked across, it just kept these from getting ripped off the boat. But these are going to be through bolted. It becomes an additional grab bar and anchor point, something you can grab onto, and also something you can clip halyards to and whatnot. So we'll have some extra pretty beefy metal. I don't know if I mentioned it, we ordered these from Railmakers in Costa Mesa, and I had to draw up a plan showing the deck camber and the leg length and how I wanted all the tubing bent, and emailed them the designs, those and the mast pulpits. The mast pulpits were actually designed for a West Sail 32 with the curved back rail to rest your butt cheeks up against. These ones these ones cost almost as much as the 1.25
More.
36-inch.
They cost more.
Oh, they cost more, yeah. The Dorade guards. But it was because it was so much custom fabrication and just weird angles. And this is 1-inch tubing on these, and I think like, I don't know, 2 and something inch diameter backing plates. So I'm just marking the center line of the holes. I already drilled through the top skin and the core and hogged out all the core and then filled it with epoxy. And that was a couple of weeks ago, and it's just been kind of lousy weather since. We haven't really had a chance to get outside and drill holes in the roof.
What are you doing?
Bending these feet.
Yeah, they a little bit off.
A little bit.
So here's what I do most of the time. You can hear him up above outside. He's bending the legs. And I'm supposed to be in here waiting to catch the fiberglass that comes through the ceiling. And to say something if the holes don't come out where they're supposed to. Yep, a lot of waiting around on my part. So you're taking down the headliner in the head?
Taking down the headliner. Bits of wood. This is how they hide the diesel vent. This is the diesel vent right here. Hopefully this works. So we should still be able to unscrew the cowl vents. And remove them. We need to find us some deck plates that pop in here. So 2 of the bolts that come through the forward side of the Dorade guard ended up right here. So I gotta trim out this piece of strip and make the backing plate fit.
You're gonna hold it back?
I'm using butyl tape. The good stuff from Compass Marine. So we're bedding the bottom of the plates with butyl and adding a little collar around the top of each screw that squeezes down and helps seal off the holes. And when I drilled the holes through, I also used a countersink bit and countersink it to give it a little bit of a gasket forming ability. There it is.
And lock washer.
Lock washer and a nut, each one. So here's the Dorade guards installed. Everything's through bolted, bedded in butyl tape and sealed up. Next step is to install the mast pulpits or granny bars. So stay tuned for that one. And if you like this one, give us a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe and stay tuned for more videos on SB Ramble On.